I was only making fishing YouTube content for years. And I'm gonna be honest, I've never said this, but it has come to my attention that a lot of you guys have questions that I apparently haven't answered throughout the years of doing YouTube, and I've never sat down and done a Q&A with you guys. So today's the day. A couple months ago, I posted on my YouTube community page and my Instagram story asking questions that you guys would want to know the answer to, and I saved all of them, even though I posted that quite a while ago. And I also went through my YouTube comments and screenshotted some questions that maybe I didn't see the comment, and I screenshotted it, yada yada. There's 77 questions that I have screenshotted on my phone that I put into a folder. 77. I'm gonna pick the most important questions and questions that were repeatedly asked and answer them. We're gonna get into everything. I want you guys to hear how I feel and get to know me as best as possible. We're talking marriage, do I want a family one day, and just really personal stuff that I haven't spoke about very much or at all. This one girl kept commenting and asking questions repeatedly, so I guess we'll start with her. It's a joke. For everyone that asks if Roman Reckless and I know each other, yes, we're very good friends. I get that question a million times. We do know about each other and we do talk. Don't worry. When are we going fishing / camping? We have something in the works. It's just not going to be right away, but don't worry. Happening soon. Why are you and Lila so cool? And why is Sky so cute? Deep-rooted questions right there. I'm putting out some catfish rods at the same exact time. I feel like another good question to answer right now is, where am I currently? I am currently in Arkansas as we speak. What did I want to be when I grow up? Anything that Jeremy Wade was. I either wanted to do what Jeremy Wade was doing or continue and play professional women's hockey. And at that time, there was no such thing as professional women's hockey. As of this year, the PWHL is a thing. And sometimes I think, and I start to regret giving up on hockey after high school and not continuing, because I think I could have made it, okay? I think I could have made it. That might sound cocky of me, I don't know. But I really loved hockey, so anything to do with fishing, hockey, camping, I wanted to do, even as a kid. So I guess I really am living out my dream, to say the least, but hockey was so much fun. I definitely miss playing hockey. I think that's something, one of my goals this year is to join some sort of league, maybe this winter or something. I don't know. Stay tuned for that. Should I join hockey again? I didn't get rid of any equipment. Just sitting in my parents' basement. How long have you been with your girlfriend? I have known Lila since I was 14. Well, maybe she was 13. She's a year younger. We've known each other forever, but we've been officially dating and together for 3 years. As of only a month ago was our 3 years. My coming out story. Thank you to Opus for sponsoring today's video. This right here is the xoxo 600. The xoxo 600 is light, coming in at only 8.6 pounds, yet mighty, with an EV grade Life PO4 battery with a 600 watt output and a 256 watt hour capacity. Opus makes power banks so you can travel with a peace of mind and knowing that you have electricity for all your devices. And for me, that's super important because I have so much camera gear 24/7 that always needs to be charged. It can charge up to 6 devices at once, as well as charge from 0 to 80% in as little as 33 minutes. The xoxo 600 is at the fraction of a cost compared to the other solar banks on the market. Opus is a company specializing in meeting the solar power demands for outdoor adventure, home emergency, travel, fishing, RV, and van camping, and just so much more. Really, whatever you think you would need this device for, it can handle it, especially with it being tornado season and everything I just went through in Texas. These things are important. Thank you so much to Opus for sponsoring today's episode and making sure that Sky and I have a reliable power source while we're on our adventures. Without sponsors like them, these videos would not be possible, so if you guys could do so, click the link down below, check them out, see what they offer. I really recommend this power bank. I've been putting it through the absolute ringer the last few weeks and it's been holding up amazing, and it's very reasonably priced. So I thought it was something really cool you guys would like to check out. Anyways, thank you for sponsoring today's video. Now back to today's episode. My coming out story isn't something worth talking about. It was in 8th grade. I know that's pretty young, but I guess when you know, you know. I told one of my best friends at the time, and the next day everyone at school knew. One of the school moms called my mom and told her, so I never got the opportunity to come out to anyone or my parents, my family, no one. I've never had that opportunity, which is fine because I think it's overrated and it doesn't define me, and it's not like my only personality trait. I hardly talk about it because I don't think it's a big deal, and I stand by that. But it would have been cool to have a cool coming out story, but mine was just traumatic. Don't trust anyone, I guess. Jeez. How old is Sky? Sky is asleep and 8 years old. The next question is, where do I want to call home? Wherever Sky is and Lila is a home. I have no desire to settle down right now and buy a house. I would love to buy land, but that's about it, and I still don't even know where I'd want to do that. So no idea. As of right now, yeah, I don't know. Do you ever plan on marriage and having a family? Also, what is your favorite food? Family and marriage, yes, 100%. I am kind of an old school or traditional type of person when it comes to stuff like that. I do want to settle down one day, like settle down in a house, and I 100% am going to be marrying Lila. There's no doubt in my mind. So yes, on marriage. Having a family, Lila and I go back and forth because obviously our situation's a lot different. We can't just have a kid very easily. It's quite expensive. So I think all in all, our goal is to have one, but not for a very long time. Maybe adopt if we neither of us want to be the one giving birth. There's a lot that goes into it in our situation, and if you asked me a year ago, I would have said no, I'm not having kids. But I don't know. As the days go by, I think eventually kids will be a part of our lives. We will have kids, but I don't know. It's not going to be for a very, very long time, and I think I owe it to my mom because my mom deserves more grandkids. She definitely deserves more grandkids. My mom's a sucker for kids, so I think not only for me, but for my mom, I would have kids. Again, not for a very long time. Ask me in a year, I'll probably say I don't want kids, and then in another year I'll say I do want them. It changes all the time. Just changes a lot. But as of right now, I'm going to say, yeah, I definitely do. But in 10 years. 10 years, there you go. Yep, 10 years. This question says, how are you and Sky both doing? Tell the viewers how you're doing. Sky's actually absolutely terrified of the tripod, so that's why sometimes she gets really nervous. Is that an eye boogie, girl? Is that an eye boogie? Sky's doing amazing, like absolutely incredible. Here, I'll get the tripod away. I'm sorry. I talked about this before and maybe a video or two ago, but I'm blown away by how Sky is doing. She's doing absolutely incredible this trip. Like, whatever my expectations were, she just blew it out of the park. I think she's having the most fun she's ever had in her entire life. She's swimming all the time. She gets to run around, and I don't know. She's just having a lot of fun, and she freaks out every time I catch a fish, which makes me feel so cool. Usually she doesn't care, but for some reason this trip I catch a fish, and she's like, oh my goodness. So that's been a cool experience. What was the question? How am I doing? Like, mentally? I think I'm doing really good. My anxiety has been under control. Well, I guess maybe not. That might be a little bit of a lie. I had a pretty bad panic attack a couple nights ago. It was my first time ever having a panic attack in the truck camper, and I think it was because I was overtired, so I don't want to overthink it, but I'm gonna say that's why, because I'm always fine in the truck camper. So yeah, I don't know. That was a weird one, but besides that, I'm doing pretty good. If money was an issue, what would your ideal travel setup be? Honestly, probably what I have right now. The only thing I would change is the actual truck. I would preferably like an 8-foot bed, but with maybe a back seat would be nice. Maybe an F-250 would be nice. Something like that, but the actual camper itself, I don't think I would ever change. There's a few things building-wise that I could do differently, but the actual structure itself is exactly what I want, and I couldn't see myself in a different rig, honestly. Does staying away so many nights add stress to your relationship with your girlfriend? No. I don't even have to think about it. No. Of course, do I wish you could come with me? Yes. And that's a question that's asked all the time, why Lila doesn't come with me on these trips. But we're opposites. Opposites attract, and I truly believe in that. We're similar in many, many ways, but at our core, we're a little bit different when it comes to what we want in life, when it comes to careers, at least. For me, this is what I want. I love this. I want to find new places and explore. And for Lila, she's going to be wearing skirts and dress pants and all that stuff. And, you know, working in a courtroom. And I'm going to be out in the woods. But at the end of the day, we both come home to each other. And I think that's what matters the most. It also is a known fact that distance grows the heart fonder. And I truly believe in that 100%. Because when I come home from these trips, it's just unbelievable. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like you're in the honeymoon phase all over again. Like, I don't even know if our honeymoon phase has ever ended. It just keeps going. So, yeah, that answers that. I think we're both types of people that enjoy our alone time. I think we both crave being alone. Maybe not all the time, of course, but it's nice to have those gaps. And I don't know how else to explain it. We just make it work so perfectly that it's actually scary. It doesn't make sense why it works so perfectly, but it does. It does. I don't know. Hopefully that answers all the questions with Lila. There's so many. Saw the ring on your finger. I get this question too much. This ring that I always wear, it actually does say Lila on it. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that. So we went to some sort of vendor booth area, and it was like a downtown filled with hundreds and hundreds of vendors, and one of the guys could make you a custom ring in 20-30 minutes or something like that. And we did it. You got to pick out a band or a ring, whatever kind of ring you wanted, and you could write anything on it. And Lila had one that said Becca. I have one that says Lila. Hers just, yeah, she lost it like right away. But I've had this on my finger for almost 2.5 years now, and I haven't lost it yet, but I probably will soon, because I feel like my fingers are shrinking for some reason. I don't know if it's because it's summer, your fingers shrink when you're dehydrated, but it's sorry, my finger just cracked. As scary as the world is today, with all the crime, murders, and just plain meanness, do you question going out alone, and does Lila wish you wouldn't? Listening to your gut, not camping and being alone places you shouldn't, and having the right precautions and safety measurements next to you and nearby at arm's reach at all times is important. But living your life in fear is something that I've done plenty of times in the past because of my panic attack disorder, and I used to let it consume me. And that is when I got really depressed. I've learned to just trust my gut, knowing that I have done the right research about the place that I'm going, always having a plan A, B, C, D, and so on is important. There's been times where I might not have a backup plan, but I'm in a safe area. I know it's hard to live a life not in fear with everything that goes on in the world, but you just have to dig deep and try to enjoy this beautiful life that's given to us, you know? It's easier said than done. It took me years to get to this point, but just always have a backup plan. Make sure you have the safety precautions on you to protect yourself, and have fun. I can't believe we haven't had a fish bite our hot dog yet. It's embarrassing. Do you still have plans for the sailboat, and what would your ideal trip in the sailboat be? So the sailboat's sitting in my parents' backyard as we speak, and I am going to sell it. I think the sailboat restricted me in what I really, really wanted to do, and having a vessel is expensive. Maintenance and the trailer and everything that goes with it, the ins and outs, it's too much. It's too costly when this truck already cost me an arm and a leg, and I couldn't do both. Hence why I had to get rid of the tiny house as well. I took on too much at once when in reality all I really wanted and needed was this truck, my camper, in the open road. That sounds so cheesy, but it's true. This is what I want. When is your birthday? What's my zodiac sign? November 3rd. I know I'm a Scorpio, and oh, we're getting hit. We're on. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This is so not good. This is supposed to be a fun, cute Q&A. I'm so sorry. He's hooked right in the corner of the mouth. They can extend their neck like crazy. Come here. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you, baby. He just took my pliers. I can't believe I didn't just lose my entire hand. What makes you really angry? I'm not much of an angry person. I try not to be. I was a very angry kid, and it's taken me a lot to get to this point of being able to control my emotions. I just used to blow up. But I can proudly say that I've done the work, and I'm definitely a lot better. Doing social media really tests your self-improvement in a way, I guess, because I would say one thing that just makes me angry is when someone watches a video and just judges absolutely everything that they see on the screen and just wants to find the bad in things, because that's the complete opposite of what I strive to do. I always look for the good in things, and when there's people that just constantly want to find an issue with what you're doing, it just makes me frustrated and almost sad for them that they're living that way. But yeah, I would say that is up there for me. That is totally up there for me. Also, bad drivers. Yeah. Favorite memory over the last year? That's a really hard one. Okay, I'm gonna pick some random ones that maybe weren't on film. I would say one, when Lila and I adopted Banks. Lila and I adopted Banks from a local animal shelter in Rhode Island, and he's just been the biggest blessing. When I'm away on trips with Sky, she's still home with Banks, and she's not completely alone. He's come out of his shell so much, and it's so rewarding having a shelter animal and giving them the love they deserve. That has been so incredible. He's unbelievable. He was, how do I say this nicely? He was a little for a while, but he's just adjusted so well. It took him about a year, but now he cuddles with us every chance he can get. He's just a love bug. What is it like to be a girl and the fishing influencer in a market full of guys, and do you get followed by a woman? I don't have a huge female audience, but it's growing, and that makes me really, really stoked. But I was only making fishing YouTube content for years. And I'm gonna be honest, I've never said this, but the fishing community is very toxic, and I didn't want to do what I was doing anymore because of it. People aren't, you of course run into more good people than bad, but in my case, I felt like I was meeting more people, like it was 70-30. 30 good people, 70% bad people. I was always judged. People never expected me to actually know what I was doing. I was being treated almost like a child, and it wasn't fun. I think people started to almost ruin fishing for me, and I tried so hard for years to ignore it, but you definitely get treated very harshly. You're very judged, and yeah, it made me not want to wake up and go to the pond and bring the camera along with. So I started fishing and not filming, and then I realized that I just made the transition into camping and fishing. So there wasn't a crazy reason why I made that transition. I think it all kind of just blended together, and I ended up truck camping and fishing. So it was two different communities, and now it's more like Now it's more like 80-20, like 80 unbelievable people, 20% not so great, just being in two different niches at the same time type of thing. And I've just learned to love the truck camping community, the van life community so much. I relate to it so much more. I enjoy fishing a ton still, but I like that. I like that my main focus is traveling and adventuring, more vlog style, and you guys hang out with me one-on-one more and being able to story tell besides just going to a pond and trying to film multiple videos in a day. And it was draining. It was draining. There's ways to go about it differently, but the fishing community definitely didn't treat me that great. And I hate to say that because there are really incredible people in the fishing community, but for me personally, it just, yeah, it sucked. It sucked after a while, I'm gonna be honest. It was rough. Look at her paw. My favorite fishing podcast. I'm gonna say the Jigs and Bigs podcast. Are you ever going to try hunting one day? I would like to. I don't quite know if I have the heart for it. I think if there's one type of hunting I would do, it would 1000% be turkey hunting because turkeys suck. I would go turkey hunting. I don't know about anything else though. If there was an opportunity, I don't know if I would turn it down. But yeah, I want to turkey hunt. So let me know if you want to take me turkey hunting. Why do you have a rust spot on your truck? So, I've gotten this question a million times, and if you didn't see, I did get the rust spot fixed, which was extremely, extremely expensive. And then lo and behold, if you haven't seen it, there's a new rust spot. I got quoted some money to fix it. Obviously, it's not much now, but if you know anything about rust, it's gonna just take over the entire panel. But the quote that I was quoted was not good. I mean, it's not doable. And then you come over on this side, same exact spot right there. Yep, same exact spot. This was where the old rust was. He did a great job, and now it's here and on the other side in the exact same spot. I think the other side's a little bit more over here, but you get the point. To be fully transparent with you guys, I was quoted around $5,000 to get that fixed because at this point the whole panel is going to have to be replaced. And that quote was only for one side because that one popped up first. Now there's rust on that side. So I don't know if it would be $10,000, but if I were to trade in my truck right now, obviously I would take the camper off. It would only be about $5,000 to $7,000 is my value of my truck. So I'd just be paying the value of my truck to fix rust. So I've just decided to deal with it and suck it up. It sucks, and you might disagree with my opinion and my decision. I'm sorry. I don't know, I'm sorry. There's no way I can swing something like that. It's just not possible. If you could go back and tell 13-year-old you anything, what would you say? Sorry, dog hair in my mouth, per usual. I'd say everything works out. The panic attacks get better, relationships and friendships get better. I mean, 13 was probably the worst year of my life. By a landslide. I think I did everything right when I was 13, but I would just tell myself that everything is going to be okay, and what happened was meant to happen. Yeah. I'm actually I don't regret how I went about anything back in the day, so 13 was a very dark time for me with being outed and a lot of stuff with the hockey team, and yeah, just rough. That was rough. Yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode and I answered the questions that I could, and I know I'm probably missing a bunch and you're watching this video thinking, what the heck, I have so many questions that I never commented or whatever. I got you. We'll start doing this annually, especially because things are always changing in my life. This is a lifestyle that is not very consistent, and there's always something new going on and things changing and adapting, yada yada. So we'll do one again, and I promise I won't wait 4+ years to do one. My apologies, but yeah, so that will conclude today's episode. Anyways, Sky and I love you guys. and appreciate you guys so much. We'll catch you beautiful people on the next one.